everyone. Good evening. I'm Shreya Dondial. It's good to see you. The last day of the survey of the Gyanvapi Masjid has thrown up some stunning claims and counterclaims. Now, the Hindu side has claimed that a Shivling has been found in the wazu pond. The Muslim side is calling this claim rubbish and saying what the Hindus are calling a Shivling is actually a fountain contraption. It even has holes on it to prove that this is a fountain contraption. Now, the court has sealed the area, which means the wazu khana, the pond where this Shivling has been found. And it has also put this wazu khana, this pond, under the CRPF's protection. The question is, what happens from here on? What if the civil court in Banaras that ordered the survey accepts the Hindu claim of a Shivling inside the mosque premises? Will it then set the stage for a larger, long-drawn legal battle, much like the one we saw in Ayodhya? Can the Hindu side, despite the Places of Worship Act 1991, claim that the mosque is a temple and be handed over to them, which means to the Hindu side? Now, the intersection of religion, law and politics is usually complicated and divisive. We are debating it this evening. First of all that has played out through the day today.
The court-mandated videography survey of the Gyanvapi Mosque ended today with a big twist. The Hindu petitioners claim that a Shivling was found in a pond within the complex during the filming. A Varanasi court has ordered sealing off the area where the Shivling was found.
जो वजू खाने में शिवलिंग मिला था उसको हमने मांग की है कि उसको वहाँ पे सील कर दिया जाए और जिस पे माननीय न्यायालय ने अभी आदेश पारित किया है।
आपने कहा बाबा मिल गए उसमें?
हाँ
जी
हाँ इधर ये बाबा मिल गए।
The claim was refuted by the Mosque Management Committee, which has challenged the survey.
ये इन लोगों के कहने से फैसला नहीं होगा, फैसला कोर्ट करेगी। रिपोर्ट जब आएगा, रिपोर्ट आने के बाद उस पर ऑब्जेक्शन इनवाइट होता है। वजू खाने का सर्वे हुआ है और उसको पानी निकाल के हुआ बस।
और साहब ये बता रहे हैं मस्जिद की दीवारों पर त्रिशूल के निशान मिले हैं, ऐसा दावा किया जा रहा है।
अरे भाई उनका दावा है, हमारा कहना नहीं है।
The Gyanvapi Mosque, which is located close to the Kashi Vishwanath temple, is embroiled in a legal battle. The Hindu side is seeking permission for daily worship at the Gyanvapi Shringar Gauri complex, which is inside the mosque. But the Muslim side says the idol of Shringar Gauri is outside the mosque. Amid the legal fight, a political war of words has been brewing.
ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद थी और जब तक अल्लाह दुनिया को कायम रखेगा मस्जिद रहेगी इंशाअल्लाह ताला। क्या आप तमाम लोग अहद लेते हैं कि हम कोई मस्जिद को नहीं खोएंगे?
वो हैदराबाद में बैठे बैठे जो बक रहे हैं उनको बकने दीजिए। उत्तर प्रदेश में उनकी बात का कोई प्रभाव नहीं पड़ता है। ये एक सामान्य प्रक्रिया है। न्यायालय के आदेश के अंतर्गत सभी लोग उस पर नजर रखें।
All eyes are now on the Supreme Court, which will now hear a petition challenging the survey of Varanasi's Gyanvapi Mosque. Bureau Report, CNN News 18.
Let's get straight to the debate. Anurag Sharma is a BJP MP joining us this evening. Abbas Haider, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, not through with us right now, but I believe he'll be with us in a couple of minutes. Ashwani Dubey is a Supreme Court advocate and Asif Sohail is a political analyst. Asif Sohail, I'm coming to you first. Now, tomorrow, the civil court in Banaras has to decide, or in the course of the next 1 week, 10 days, has to decide if indeed the Hindu claim is right, that a Shivling has indeed been found in the pond which is used by the Muslims as a wazu khana. What if the court says, yes, there is enough proof that this is actually a Shivling? What happens next?
Madam, first of all, I strongly condemn the honorable court which have passed the order. It's a completely contempt of court.
What order?
What the Supreme Court has.
Sohail, what order?
This 1991
you say you condemn the order. I'm not doing behas. I'm asking you which order you have a problem with.
That's what. Let the report comes out. Why we are jumping on it? The other side they are saying there was a fountain. Others they are saying Shivling. Let the report come out. Even in the Supreme Court has already admitted the case. The same thing happened when it's in the Babri Masjid. Idols were placed. Later on the masjid is demolished. And that's the same thing it's going to repeat here. But now we are not going to tolerate this. That masjid will be there till the day of judgment. We are not going to tolerate this time. Already we have given one mosque. This is not going to. See, madam, let me complete.
Okay, go ahead.
When the court has ordered it, there was a stay on it. How come the lower court gives the order for survey? It's a totally changing the nature of the mosque worship. Now the area has been sealed. Tomorrow there will be then order. There will be no namaz will be allowed over there. This all it's a pre-planned propaganda to just to divide the Hindu Muslim. The masjid was there earlier. The mandir was also there earlier. There was no dispute at all. When there was when earlier the claim was there, they have been given stay. Now again, why again this survey? Why again this petition? This you need to understand. This is all pre-planned propaganda of the Sanghis, just to make an unrest again in the country. How we have seen at the time of Babri Masjid, we have seen thousands of Muslims are killed. Again, now we are not going to tolerate this time. We believe in the court of law. The Supreme Court will take a call. Again, already the case has been admitted in the Supreme Court. Let's wait for it and let the survey report come. Then we'll come to the judgment. Let's not have a media trial. Let's not go for the media judgment.
No, media trial or media judgment nahi. Sabse pehle to there are enough photographs that have been leaked out and videos that have been leaked out, which are very clearly.
This case is subjudiced. We cannot see this case is subjudiced. Let them give the report, whether it's a
Sohail, you've made that point. You've made that point.
Shivling.
And you've made that point. And as I began, I said there is a claim and there is a counterclaim, and the court has to decide what is true and what is false. ठीक है?
No, ma'am.
No, Sohail, wait.
Shivling hai. वहाँ पे आपने see
wait,
when there why I'm saying a contempt.
Wait, I'm asking you this. I'm asking you this. You have said, एक minute. You have said, Sohail, सवाल तो पूछ सुन लो भाई. Sohail, सवाल सुन लो. You say what you want to say, but सवाल सुनो.
मैडम मेरा भी सवाल सुनिए.
नहीं मैं I'm the anchor. Why will you ask me सवाल? तुम भी गजब कर रहे हो Sohail.
I have every right to to express my view.
Yes.
You cannot put your words onto me.
No, how can I do that? How can I do that? You are an adult. I am asking you this. You are saying that even in the Ayodhya case, you are saying temples were placed in the mosque and then that became a pretext to bring down the mosque. You are saying this in this case.
That's what, madam.
In this case, the masjid has been with the Muslims for how long? How is it possible for a Hindu to go quietly put a shivling under the water or carve a gong on the wall without the Muslims knowing?
How many years? Every small kid knows what happened in the Babri Masjid. Let's not go there. We have already accepted it, but not again. जो मस्जिद ज्ञान वापसी की थी वहां पे क़यामत तक वहीं पे मस्जिद रहेंगी और इस बार हम ये चीज को देने के लिए तैयार नहीं है चाहे कौन सा भी आप पैंतरा इस्तेमाल कर रहे we are not going to tolerate this time.
Anurag Sharma, BJP MP, ठीक है, you made your point. Anurag Sharma, BJP MP, this is all your propaganda, Hindutva propaganda to हड़पो the mosque, लेकिन इस बार हम आपको नहीं करने देंगे is what the Muslim side is saying.
Look, I don't know what. Thank you so much, firstly, Shreya, for letting me be here. It's a pleasure to be here on your channel. I will just say a couple of things. One, firstly, let's wait for the judgment. We in the BJP believe by the Indian Constitution. We believe very strongly in the Supreme Court's judgment. Look, certain things have been leaked out in the media. Yes, those tend to show that. And historically, everyone has accepted that fact. And my learned friend here would also be accepting that fact, that there was a temple always there. Aurangzeb, as a foreign ruler, came, invaded India and broke and decided to build a mosque. Now, that is, final decisions have to be left to the court's judgment. Why are you trying to give it a communal color? We've never given it a communal color. We are very open to this idea that let the court decide. Now, everyone knows historically, and there is enough proof. Now, when they're seeing enough proof come out, I think they're just panicking. There is really no need to panic on this. I would really advise, wait, let's hear the court. Once we know what the court is saying, there will be enough proof to satisfy everyone.
Okay.
So I suggest people like Mr. Ursi making all these comments in Hyderabad, trying to whip up communal favor is not right.
Mr.
It's just
Sharma,
not done.
Mr.
Why
Sharma,
should you do something like this?
Can I ask you this?
It's gone to the court.
Can I ask you this?
Decide.
Can I ask you this? Okay, you're saying let the court decide. Fair point. Here's what I want to ask you. If, as suggested so far, there is enough and more Hindu iconography in and around the Gyanvapi Mosque, that proves that once there stood a temple here, if what has been unearthed is actually a shivling, if all of that is established, what does the BJP do? Will it ask for the masjid to be handed over to the mandir to say, yaar, ye to mandir hi tha, give it back to us? And I'm asking you this question in light of the 1991 Places of Worship Act.
Yeah. Now, I don't think so. The 1991 Act really covers this. Because one, we are talking about another, I'm forgetting the name of the Mandir, which is basically used to be the entry point to what is now called the Gyanvapi Mosque. That is not really covered under this. There has been enough dispute on that, on the 1991 Act. And it was anyway bought very hurriedly by the people in the Congress at the then PV Narasimha Rao government. But what we are saying now is, if there is enough sufficient proof and if the court takes a decision, we in the BJP will abide by the court's decision.
No, the court will not decide. The court will not decide the title suit, right? I'm asking you what the BJP stand is going to be if there is already a title suit in the Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court. Will it be the BJP's, the High Court? Will it be the BJP's claim then that if there is enough mandir iconography here, if you have the gong carved on the mandir, if there is a Shivling that is facing the Nandi, it very clearly shows this was a temple once, continues to be a temple. Not was a temple once, but continues to be a temple given that a Shivling has been found here. Therefore, the masjid should become part of the temple. That the masjid can shift somewhere else, isko mandir ko de do. Will that be the BJP stand?
Look, we will abide by the court's decision, but let me be very clear on a very personal issue. Now, I'm saying just two things. One, historically, we've all known for a fact that the Mandir Parisar existed way before Aurangzeb.
Correct.
Way before any of these invaders came and decided to subjugate the Indian Hindu population. Now, this as an act was completely cruel, brutal, subjugating the population and especially hurting the Hindu sentiment. Now, this is a mandir. It's why would you subjugate the Shivites? Why would you subjugate a Hindu population only to prove your supremacy? Now, this is nothing to do with the Babri Masjid case. Now, Babri Masjid was Ram Bhagwan's birthplace. Now, as far as the Gyanvapi Mosque is concerned, the mandir existed. You broke the mandir and built on top of it. Now, mandir is a very religious place. It's a place of worship. Now, as far as we are concerned, if they're willing, we would be more than happy to relocate and build another mosque. We don't want a communal flavor to this. I would really be suggestive to all my friends on the other side that if these things were done historically and historic injustice was done to the Indian people by foreign invaders, not by the Indian Muslims, but by foreign invaders, then we should rectify some of these wrongs.
Abbas Haider,
That's the step.
Okay, Abbas Haider, you're the Samajwadi Party spokesperson. The BJP MP on the panel is saying this is about correcting or righting a historical wrong. Fact is, and we know this, and enough historians have studied the issues, studied various texts to suggest and tell us that Aurangzeb, after he came to power, not before, but after he came to power, ordered the destruction of places of worship of infidels and educational institutions as well, right? And his order was to build mosques on them. So we know that. We do understand that that is exactly what happened with the Gyanvapi Mosque as well. What the BJP MP here is saying, it is time to correct or right a historical wrong. If this was a temple, then let it go back to being a temple and relocate the mosque somewhere else.
See, this matter is sub judice, and now it is court who has to decide what to do and what not to do. See, court decide not hearsay, but court decide on the basis of the evidence that is presented in the court. Now, the matter is in the court. I want to know that is BJP a party in this matter, or any other, for that instance, any other political party a party in this matter? No, we are not. This is a dispute between two parties. Now, it is the court which has to decide how it is. And I want to ask the BJP spokesperson, does he mean to say that he is going to repeal the 1991 Places of Worship Act? Does this, is he what you want to say? So
No,
these are the questions I want to say. And now the Bharatiya Janata Party, this is an old tactic of BJP.
Sorry,
They just want to divert
we
public
do not-
attention
we do
from
not-
the issues
We
which are
never said we'll
things.
repeal the 1991 order. We've just said that that act was passed in haste. by the PV Narasimha Rao.
So there is no dispute over the
Mr.
title.
Sharma, if you feel it was passed in haste, and if you feel there is a case, if you feel there's a case for the Gyanvapi Mosque, will you not? I mean, will the BJP then not take a relook at it? Because ultimately it will be the parliament that will have to decide whether the 1991 order goes or not.
We will decide once the court order comes into play. Once the court gives it, the Supreme Court of India decides. Let the Supreme Court order come. This is what exactly this SP spokesperson is also saying. We accept that fact. But we're still waiting for the Supreme Court order. We think there is enough decided in favor of the people who
on one hand, you are saying that you are not going to repeal the
decision
1991 Places of Worship Act. On the other hand, you are saying that you will decide later. So that means you don't believe in the court. That you're going to change.
Said we don't believe in the court. Please do not try and put words into my mouth.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm not trying to put words.
That is completely unfair.
There are contradictions in your statement. Now, my point is you don't talk about the pressing issues. The inflation is 8 years.
Please hear me out. I have just said.
Mr. Sharma, we get your point. Let Abbas Haider has some questions for you. Matlab ye jo this line of argument I've heard from the opposition for the last 7 days. But go ahead, Abbas. Make your point.
No, this is a very fair argument, ma'am. BJP is just not. They don't want to talk about the pressing issues. They don't want to talk about increasing corruption in Uttar Pradesh. They just don't want to talk about increasing crime in Uttar Pradesh. Yesterday, 4 girls were killed in just Banda. This is what's happening around UP. So they just don't want to divert public attention. That is the old tactic of Bharatiya Janata Party. You can see contradiction is in his statement. Once he was saying that he is not going to repeal the 1991 Places of Worship Act. On the other hand, he is saying that he'll decide once the court judgment. So you mean to say if the court judgment is in your favor, you're not going to repeal the 1991 Places of Worship Act, and if it's not in your favor, you're going to repeal the law. This is what he's trying to say. So my request from all the political parties and media channels is let us not make this a political issue. This is a dispute between 2 parties, which is sub judice. Now let the court decide.
Everything in India is political. So there is no point in saying don't make it political. You already have people like Asaduddin Owaisi and the entire political top brass of the BJP in Uttar Pradesh jump into the issue. How is it not political? It's not the media making it political. The politicians make it political.
I don't find a difference between the two. Now the thing is, because this is a dispute between 2 parties, let the court decide. All the citizens of this country are law-abiding. They'll decide. They'll respect the court decision. This is what I'm saying.
Well, the Supreme Court did come out. It was a long legal battle, almost 100 years. The Supreme Court made a decision, and the Muslim side did stick to the decision. There was no protest against what the Supreme Court ruled in the Ayodhya case. But Ashwini Dubey, how many historical wrongs will you right? ये तो गड़े मुर्दे उठाने वाली बात हो गई ना? It will not stop at Gyanvapi. There is also Mathura. There is also the Shahi Masjid there.
Shreya,
how many? For how, Mehbooba Mufti said this, that maybe it's best for the Hindu side to pull out a list of all the masjids they think have been built on mosques and let us know. कहाँ तक गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ोगे?
Shreya, you will agree to me कि ये country जो है rule of law से चलती है. There is a constitution in place and there are various other laws passed by the parliament to look into the private affairs, vis-a-vis constitutional affairs and the public affairs. Shreya, let us discuss on this case. Very rightly you have said that कितने गड़े मुर्दे उठाओगे, how many cases you will file. Then there is an act of parliament passed in 1991, though without the consultation of the stakeholders, that is the state, because when any law is passed by the parliament, the equal responsibility lies on the legislature to consult the stakeholders. And I doubt that the stakeholders existing at that point of time their views has been looked into. Shreya, let us discuss about today's case. I have 4 points to make and allow me to complete in 50 seconds.
Okay.
Point number 1, passing an interim order is the sole discretion of the judge concerned. There are 2 set of cases which are running. One case filed in 1991 where the land has been sought a relief, for which the Honorable Lucknow bench today started hearing. Second set of case filed by 5 devotees saying that look, before 1991 we used to perform our puja. हम वहाँ जाते थे, श्रृंगार गौरी देवी के पूजा करते थे, and now it has been established. So they said they did not claiming the land. They are saying कि हमारा जो पूजा करने का right है to propagate, to profess, to perform, Article 25 that we should be given. So what court did? in order to bring out the truth and in order to put end to the controversy, because this is within the domain of the civil court under the section 75 to 78 of the Code of Civil Procedure, ऐसा लगता है कि when any dispute has to be adjudicated, and this is not, the court is not able to reach on any finding based on the documents available on record, court may issue survey.
Correct.
Court may issue commissions.
Correct.
The court will within power issued surveys with the consultation of both the parties and the district administration visited there. Meaning after that 2 days of filming and videography, Lord Shiva का वहां पर शिवलिंग मिलता है. Then the person, now I am coming to the law. The person immediately approached the court, look, we have found it, we have seen it, so it should not be destroyed and distracted. And it's a suit property, therefore you protect it. They did not say that it should be given to us. They did not say that the right to be given to us. They said कि इसको protect करिए, preserve करिए. So in a civil case, there are 3 stages. Grant of interim order is governed by 3 basic principles. Prima facie case, balance of...
I understand all of that. My question to you was simple. कितने गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ोगे और कहां तक उखाड़ोगे और कब तक उखाड़ोगे? That was my question. That was my question. Because Gyanvapi is not the only one, na? There's also the Shahid.
We are very different faith के लोग, different religion को मानने वाले लोग. Everybody is Muslim. Here, they all are here, so we have to see. We have to see that.
1 minute. Sohail, I'll come to you. Sohail, go ahead. What are you saying? 1 minute, Mr.
See, they have already decided to wage a war against the Muslim. They have a very big list just to take in the, take a cover of mosque, masjid, what they have a different agenda of the Hindutva. That's what they want to do it. When they are not claiming the land, madam, let me finish it. When they are not claiming the land, why did they file a petition to seize the wazu khana? Why, for what? When they have done the videography, everything has been recorded. My the learned friend is saying, to safeguard that property. How come? It's totally changing the nature of place.
No, it is. If something is disputed, Sohail, if something is disputed, you need to protect it. It is disputed. The Muslim side is claiming one thing, the Hindu side is claiming one thing. You need to protect that place.
See, एक ऑर्डर में स्टे दिया गया है, उसमें कोई इंटरफेरेंस नहीं होने लगा. दूसरी तरफ ऑर्डर पास किया गया 1991 कोर्ट के सुप्रीम कोर्ट में और पार्लियामेंट. तो बीजेपी को चाहिए ना उसको रिपील करे, उसको आप अमेंड करिए ना. अगर आप खुला बता दीजिए जितने मसाजिद है हिंदुस्तान के अंदर सारों को हम तोड़ेंगे, खुली आप अल्फाज में बोलिए. आप
चले बीजेपी
टेकिंग आप इसको क्यों आप जैसो एक आड़ बना के लोगों से पिटीशन, ऑलरेडी एक पिटीशन के ऊपर 1991 में स्टे दे दिया गया था उसके ऊपर.
तो बीजेपी के एमपी, तो ये सवाल बीजेपी के एमपी के लिए उनको जवाब देने दीजिए. ठीक है, ये सवाल बीजेपी के एमपी के लिए उनको देने दीजिए. मिस्टर शर्मा, you've heard what Asif Sohail is saying. He's saying essentially the BJP government has launched a war against Muslims in this country and they have a long list of mosques that they want to raise. That is what this is about.
I think that's a very unfair and uncalled for comment. You're only trying to whip up more communal favor. You should not make comments like this.
We always raise the questions on Aurangzeb. Now what will happen in India? Many mosques have been raised.
Sohail, 1 minute. You asked a question. Sohail, 1 minute. Sohail, you asked a question. Now if the BJP MP is responding to it, at least let him.
आखिरी आप ले लीजिए आप.
अरे आप अभी मेरे पास 5 मिनट और है, रुक जाओ. दूसरा सवाल अभी लेती हूँ, पहले ये जवाब देने दो इनको.
One, this is uncalled for. Secondly, let's be very, very clear that certain places of worship were broken and converted into mosques. At no point of time has the BJP ever in our history broken a mosque and built a mandir on it. If we were that anti-Muslim, we would have done it. We are not. This is just to play to their own vote banks. As far as the BJP is concerned, we've always repeatedly said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Have you ever heard in this country that a mosque was broken and a mandir built on top of it?
It happened.
It happened. Mosque.
It happened in Ayodhya.
All we are demanding is our sentiments as Indians be respected. And we will respect the Supreme Court's judgment.
अच्छा सोहेल, अब मुझे एक सवाल मैं जरा आपसे पूछ लेती हूँ. एक बात बताइए सोहेल. अभी हमें ये नहीं पता, ये हमें कोर्ट ने बताना है. देखिए क्लेम्स और काउंटर क्लेम्स आए हैं. मैं फिर बार बार बोल रही हूँ कि हिंदू साइड का क्लेम है कि यहाँ पे शिवलिंग है, जहां आपका वजू खाना है, यहां के अंदर शिवलिंग है। आप कह रहे हैं वो फाउंटेन है, ठीक है, क्लेम है, काउंटर क्लेम है। लेकिन अगर हिंदू साइड कह रही है कि यहां पे शिवलिंग है एंड द कोर्ट ऑल्सो डिसाइड्स कि यहां पे शिवलिंग है, इज द मुस्लिम साइड ओके? एक मिनट, इज द मुस्लिम साइड ओके कि जो हिंदुओं के लिए आस्था की बात है, शिवलिंग आस्था की बात है, आप वहां उसको आपने वजू खाना बना रखा है और वहां पे आप अपने हाथ और पैर धोएंगे? आप मुझे बताइए, यस, व्हाट शुड द मुस्लिम साइड डू? सही, मतलब आप लीगली छोड़ दीजिए, आप 1991 मुझे प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट मत बताइए, आप मुझे बताइए कि करना क्या चाहिए मस्जिद कमेटी को।
मैं आपको यही बोलूंगा कि ये मुल्क आस्था पे नहीं संविधान पे चलेगा। मैं आकर अगर बोलूंगा आपके घर के नीचे मस्जिद है और आपके घर को खोदने शुरू करेंगे तो बात नहीं होगी ना। एक संविधान बना हुआ है, देयर इज अ बाउंड्रीज ऑलरेडी सेट 1991 में। देखिए मैं आपको फिर बोल रहा हूँ, ता क़यामत तक ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद वहीं थी और हमारी नस्लों को हम बोलते रहेंगे, बाबरी मस्जिद को जैसा तोड़े थे ऐसे मस्जिदों को तोड़ने नहीं देंगे। Another thing, see, when they always we blame औरंगजेब and other ruler, presently जितने मस्जिदों को तोड़ा जा रहा है, मुसलमानों को मारा जा रहा है, उत्तर प्रदेश में 10,000 के ऊपर मुसलमान मरे अभी तक।
कौन सा मस्जिद तोड़ा, जरा मुझे बता दीजिए। ये आप सोहेल कौन सी बात कर रहे हैं? कौन सा मस्जिद टूटा है?
कई मस्जिदों को आप नहीं देख रहे हैं कि देखिए आने अभी थोड़े दिन पहले कितना डिस्टर्ब किया गया।
नहीं, मस्जिद कोई नहीं टूटा है। आप अगर आप जहांगीरपुरी की बात कर रहे हैं तो मैं जहांगीरपुरी में थी, मस्जिद कोई नहीं टूटा है।
इट्स ऑन रिकॉर्ड, यू कैन नॉट डिनाई इट, आई कैन नॉट डिनाई दैट, इट्स ऑन द रिकॉर्ड। सुनिए, आप इतने मसाजिदों को तोड़ने के लिए
कौन सा मस्जिद टूटा
झंडा लगाने की कोशिश करते हैं आप, जस्ट टू अनरेस्ट। अब प्रेजेंट प्राइम देखिए जो हो गया पास में, अब उसके ऊपर बात नहीं कर रहे। प्रेजेंटली जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर की तरफ से, मौजूदा हुकूमत की तरफ से जो जुल्म हो रहा है मुसलमानों पे, उसके बाद बात करिए। कोई मस्जिद और मंदिर किसी का पेट नहीं भरता, किसी को तालीम नहीं देती। मैं चाहूंगा तालीम चाहिए, मुझे घर चाहिए, मुझे एम्प्लॉयमेंट चाहिए, ना मुझे मंदिर मस्जिद के बीच में लड़कर अपने जान और अपने नस्लों को खत्म नहीं करेंगे। जब संविधान पे चलना है तो क्लियरली बोल देना भारतीय जनता पार्टी और मौजूदा हुकूमत को कि हम संविधान को नहीं मानते, संविधान से बड़े हम हैं। जब पार्लियामेंट के सुप्रीम इज द पार्लियामेंट, बट ऑलरेडी द लॉ हैज बीन पास, देन व्हाई अगेन एक नया बैटल? जो बाबरी मस्जिद का हमने 30 साल कई जाने खोई है, ना बल्कि मुसलमानों के, गैर मुसलमानों के भी लोग मरे हैं, फिर कोई एक नया बैटल के लिए तैयार कर रहे हैं क्या? बताइए मुझे आप।
20 seconds
में अनरेस्ट करने की कोशिश की जा रही है।
20 seconds, Mr. Sharma. 20 seconds to you.
Let me just respond. One, this is uncalled for. अगर किसी ने घर बना के दिए हैं तो प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी की सरकार ने बना के दिए हैं। अगर सबको राशन मिला है तो हमने कभी किसी के साथ पक्षपात नहीं किया है, तो ये पक्षपात की बात तो बिल्कुल करे नहीं। और दूसरी चीज, भाजपा ने हमेशा ये कहा है कि we will follow the Supreme Court's order. Supreme Court has changed judgments and has changed laws in the past, has repealed laws. If the Supreme Court decides, we will abide by the Supreme Court's decision. They're unnecessarily trying to give this a communal flavor when they know that yes, this was a mandir, it is with the Hindu आस्था, जिस पे आपने बहुत ठोस पहुंचाई थी इन्होंने नहीं, पर बाहर के रूलर्स ने, जो बाहर से विदेशी आए थे,
औरंगजेब को मरे हुए
रूलर जो तकलीफ पहुंचा रहे हैं उसके ऊपर क्या बोलेंगे आप? क्या मौजूदा हुक्मरान जो आज हमारे लोगों को तकलीफ दे रहे हैं उनके ऊपर क्या है? बताइए आप औरंगजेब तक क्यों जा रहे हैं पिछले 100 साल के ऊपर? आप प्रेजेंटली बताइए ना।
आप एक चीज तो बताइए कि आपके वहां राशन नहीं बांटा, कि आपके घर नहीं बनाए मोदी सरकार ने? मोदी सरकार ने क्या आप लोगों के मोहल्ले में?
ये मुल्क के अंदर हम बराबर हिस्सेदार है, हम
तो
भी टैक्स पे करते हैं, ऐसा नहीं कर रही है हुकूमत, हमारा हक है ये, हमें भीख नहीं दे रहे हैं आप, ये भीख नहीं है, ये हमारा हक है, ये हमारा जमहूरी हक है, ये
आपके
जिसे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट्स व्हाट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैज गिवन अस।
आगे मिलकर आपके हाथ बढ़ा के आपके साथ कार्य कर रही है।
सर हाथ काट रहे हैं आप लोग, हमारे हाथ काट रहे हैं, गले काट रहे हैं, जबान काट रहे हैं हमारी।
आप की बात कर रहे हैं आप, अभी कभी कहते हैं 10,000 तोड़ दिए, कभी आप कहते हैं
100 साल पीछे क्या हुआ मुझे उससे मतलब नहीं है, मैं आज की बात कर रहा हूँ। आज प्रेजेंटली जो मौजूदा हुकूमत जो मुसलमानों पे जुल्म कर रही है, माइनॉरिटी पे जुल्म कर रही है, उसके ऊपर क्या है बताइए आप?
हम पे जो 350 साल से जुर्म हुआ उसको आप सहने को तैयार हैं। वो आप कहते हैं
350 साल पहले आपकी हुकूमत नहीं थी ना लड़ने के लिए, आज है ना आपकी हुकूमत, तो आप बराबर दो नजरों से देखिए आप।
हमारे साथ में है,
ये मुल्क के प्रधानमंत्री, भारत के प्रधानमंत्री है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नहीं, संघ परिवार के नहीं, जब है तो सबके लिए बराबर रहना चाहिए।
सभी सबके लिए कार्य करते आ रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री ने सबका साथ,
चलिए हो गया,
विकास करेंगे।
हो गया। Thank you very much. Just by the way, Aurangzeb died if my calculation is right, 314 years ago, and he's still being debated, and what he's done is still being debated in this country. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you everyone. Anurag Sharma, Abbas Haider, Ashwini Dubey, Asif Sohail, thank you very much for joining us. There's a piece of news that is coming in. This is breaking news coming in. Today was journalist Aman Chopra's questioning by the Rajasthan police in Dungarpur. And it seems it was a case of harassment by the Rajasthan police. Mr. Chopra was not offered any food or tea and was asked all kinds of questions which were unrelated to his debates on television. The cops desperately, we are being told, tried to establish a money trail and tried to probe some random links. Let me go straight across to my colleague Bhavani Deora, who's been the one who's been tracking that story. Bhavani, बताइए, आज पहला दिन था क्वेश्चनिंग का. राजस्थान पुलिस ने सवाल पूछे हैं अमन चोपड़ा से, जो इस नेटवर्क के जर्नलिस्ट हैं, हिंदी चैनल के लिए काम करते हैं, एंकर हैं वहां पे वरिष्ठ. तो बहुत उल्ट सुल्ट सवाल पूछे गए हैं, मुझे बताया जा रहा है, हैरेसमेंट करने के लिए.
देखिए, आप इस हैरेसमेंट का अंदाजा इसी से लगा सकते हैं कि 150 क्वेश्चन, 150 क्वेश्चन पूछे गए और 11 बजे से लेकर 6 बजे तक लगातार 6 घंटे, 11 बजे से लेकर 5 बजे तक लगातार 6 घंटे उनसे लगातार पूछताछ की गई. इस बीच में लंच तक, उनको खाना तक नहीं दिया गया. हमने उनको कहा कि आप उनके लिए लंच ब्रेक दे दीजिए जिससे खाना खा सके, और उसके लिए मना कर दिया गया. कहा गया कि फूड अवेलेबल करा देते हैं, वो आप क्वेश्चनिंग के बीच में खा सकते हैं, वहां पर भी आप चाहे जारी रखिए, वो भी परमिट नहीं किया गया. और उनसे जो जिस तरीके से सवाल पूछे गए, वो आप उससे अंदाजा लगाइए कि किस तरीके का हैरेसमेंट है. वो एक लाइव डिबेट शो था और उनसे पूछा जा रहा है कि मनी ट्रेल क्या था, आपके पास में पैसे, इसके लिए आपके अकाउंट में पैसे कहाँ से आए, किसने कैसे पैसे डाले, बताने की कोशिश की जा रही थी एंकर को किस तरीके से. और ये बताया जा रहा है कि इसमें साजिश किसकी थी, पीछे कौन है, इसकी कहाँ से लिखी गई, कहाँ से स्क्रिप्ट आई. इस तरीके से एक लाइव डिबेट शो के अंदर को उन्होंने, जबकि हमने पहले से अमन चोपड़ा की ओर से एक सीडी दे दी गई. इन्वेस्टिगेशन के अंदर आप देखिए कि इससे पहले इतना सहयोग दिया कि जो सहयोग मांगा कि आप लाइव, आपका शो टेलीकास्ट हुआ, उसकी सीडी दे दीजिए. और फिर कोर्ट में बताया गया कि लाइव डिबेट शो था, इसलिए कोर्ट ने भी खास तौर पर इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए थे कि जब लाइव डिबेट शो है तो उसमें हालांकि पूछताछ की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन पुलिस की रिक्वेस्ट पे उनको एक वक्त दिया था कि आप ठीक है कि आप 11 बजे से लेकर आप 5 बजे तक आप पूछताछ कर लीजिए. लेकिन जैसे ही पूछताछ का मौका मिला तो पुलिस ने जिस तरीके से वे ऑफ क्वेश्चनिंग थी, वो अपना आप से ही बहुत बड़ा हैरेसमेंट था.
चलिए भवानी, वी लीव इट देयर फॉर द मोमेंट. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस विद दैट पीस ऑफ ब्रेकिंग न्यूज. We are now shifting our focus to our second lead this evening, and it is over Kashmir Files, a film that was released some 2 months ago but continues to ignite a war of words. A fresh round of firing came from Jammu and Kashmir National Conference Party President and Srinagar MP Farooq Abdullah. He blamed Kashmir Files for recent attacks on Kashmiri pundits in Kashmir. As you know, it's been happening for the last 8 months. He said he told the LG when he met him that the movie is false and has spread animosity in the valley. The PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti too jumped in and said pretty much the same thing. Listen in.
मैंने कहा ये फिल्म बेबुनियाद फिल्म, जिसने न सिर्फ नफरत मुल्क में पैदा की है, बल्कि यहाँ हमारे जवानों में भी नफरत हुई है कि हमारे तरफ कैसे सोच रहे हैं. ऐसी चीजों को बंद करना चाहिए.
जो ये इस वक्त उन्होंने माहौल बनाया है, खासकर कश्मीर फाइल्स बनने के बाद, जो उन्होंने नफरत एक लोगों के दिलों में डाल दिए हैं, जो ये जो बिल्कुल एक नैरेटिव के साथ ये माइंडसेट चेंज करो.
सच दिखाने का एक छोटे से प्रयास को भी ये टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग को बर्दाश्त नहीं हो रहा है. इसीलिए सबों की जुबान एक है कश्मीर फाइल पर.
And not to be left behind, Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, jumped in as well. He kept away from the film that he refused to make tax-free in Delhi, but he blamed the Modi government for ill-treating Kashmiri pundits in the wake of the killing of Rahul Bhatt in Budgaon that happened last week.
इस हादसे पे नाराजगी जताने के लिए जब वो लोग प्रदर्शन कर रहे थे तो उन्हें रोका गया. उन पे लाठियां बरसाई गई, टीयर गैस छोड़े गए और उन्हें उनकी ही कॉलोनी में ताला बंद कर दिया गया। जिन अफसरों ने भी ये किया उन्हें तुरंत बर्खास्त किया जाए। हमें उन्हें गले लगाना है, वो हमारे अपने हैं।
To the debate, Dr. Nirmal Singh is a former Deputy Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. He's joining us. Majid Hydari is a senior journalist with us. And Sushil Pandit is an activist. He's also a political analyst. Sushil Pandit, we've heard from 3 politicians today, 2 from the Valley and 1 from Delhi. What do you make of what Farooq Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti are saying about Kashmir files spreading hate in the Kashmir Valley? Almost saying that Rahul Bhatt was killed because of the film.
Can you believe this, Shreya? I can't believe this. Either they think rest of the country is foolish, or they think we have short memories. We can't think and we can't remember. It is the same Farooq Abdullah who, as then Chief Minister, had come to Delhi to tell Rajiv Gandhi in September, October, that a certain guy called Manoj Raghuvanshi, who had done a story that terrorism is out to break in Kashmir and it will be horrendous, should be arrested because it is a complete lie. No such thing was going to happen. And it did happen. This was much before Rubayya Saeed was arrested. So this is the same Farooq Abdullah who is now providing alibis to jihad, who is rationalizing murder. Murders, in fact, series of murders. He is attributing blame to everything else except jihad that he engendered in Kashmir and that he destroyed Kashmir with under his watch, and then ran away to London to reappear in 1996 and preside over further massacres like Wandhama, like Nadimarg and Sangrampura. So, and Mehbooba Mufti, the less said, the better. This is the same lady who was denied a space on the dais when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was hosted by her own father in Kashmir for a rally. She was not allowed on the stage because she was mixed up with Hizbul Mujahideen then. And when after the death of her father, she was proposed to be the replacement chief minister, none other than M.K. Narayanan wrote an edit piece in the Hindu that she should be the last person considered for this job. This is a sensitive job. A chief minister has to be the chairperson of the unified command that fights terror in Kashmir. But she actually did confirm all the fears when a spate of FIRs were lodged against Indian Army officers for defending themselves and defending Kashmir.
Okay. Majid Hydari.
This happened for the first time in Kashmir despite AFSPA under her watch.
Majid
So
Hydari,
coming rich from these people, Mehbooba actually offered compensation to Burhan Wani's family. Can you believe this? And these two, the Abdullah clan and the Mufti clan, actually should be tried for high treason because they are the ones who conspired with declared jihadis like Hurriyat and offered a cushion to the foot soldiers of jihad, be it stone pelters or the armed mercenaries from Pakistan.
Majid Hydari, come in here.
They cannot get away with this.
How do you even explain Mehbooba Mufti and Farooq Abdullah's statement? Seriously, are we to believe that a film is inciting hate in Kashmir?
Well, see, madam, what we essentially need to understand is that neither Mehbooba Mufti nor Umar Abdullah are in power. See, the point is that the saffron government is wanting the people to live in the fantasy world of the real life, because the real life situation in the country, much like Jammu and Kashmir, is altogether different and very dirty. I mean, we are talking about the plight of Kashmiri pundits.
Mr. Hydari, and a film is to blame for that?
Yes, exactly. See, I'm coming to that only. What happened with Kashmiri Pandits as shown in the picture is half-truth of 32 years old story. But what today is happening with the Kashmiri Pandits, much during the saffron regime, is that the mourners are being beaten, they are being canistered, they are being cane charged, they are facing every kind of atrocity a government can do towards its people who want safety and security of their life. So who will do a picture on that? And when it comes to this Vivek Agnihotri, his half-truth story has been responded with half statement by Dr. Farooq Abdullah. It's not about the banning the picture. It's about arresting Vivek Agnihotri for poisoning the entire nation with communal hatred. This man needs to be arrested and tried for treason. He is
But
into a
communal
very
hatred,
conspiracy.
Mr. Hydri, communal hatred has existed in the Kashmir Valley for the last 32 years. It is not suddenly one day Vivek Agnihotri makes a film and that is when communal hatred is ignited. It has been there for the last 32 years in Kashmir. Do you agree with me or not?
Madam, this is a really beautiful question. See, in the last 32 years, never has any Pandit or Hindu woman been asked not to wear sari or bindi, which is part of their religion, much the way against the ethics it's happening in Karnataka. Never ever has a Hindu been asked not to be a vegetarian in Kashmir. It's all the way against what is happening in Maharashtra or elsewhere in UP or Madhya Pradesh, much the way BJP is wanting things to happen. Never has any Pandit been asked that he cannot ring the bell in the temple, which is altogether against what's happening in the rest of the country, that you have a ban on
look
Azan.
at Kashmir's history.
These things have never happened.
You're a senior journalist. Look at Kashmir's history. Look at what has happened in the last 8 months. It was only 2 months ago that Kashmir Files was released. Forget 32 years. Look at what has been happening in the last 8 months.
So, madam, the biggest sufferers have been the Kashmiri Muslims. We have been bearing the brunt from both the sides. We are stuck between the devil and the deep sea. Be it Pakistan, be it from the government side, be it from the saffron forces. We are stuck between the devil and the deep sea. Not by Kashmiri brothers who had to flee from Kashmir. Rightly, they have a big pain. They had to flee from Kashmir. But
So
they have been living a life
the-
outside.
You got the specimen of journalism that Kashmir produces. They don't let any other journalist from rest of the country to go and practice this trade there. Thank God, India is not under the writ of Sharia as yet for filmmakers to be banned for producing and making films. They have banned cinema halls in Kashmir, incidentally. Such is the azadi of jihad Kashmir enjoys for the last 32 years, that they have to come to Jammu to watch films. Not one cinema hall operational.
Correct.
And if
someone
talented
It has
steps out
been
of the
13
valley
years
to
of
work in
BJP being
films,
into power. What
they
has
are
BJP done for
humiliated
cinema halls? Someone
publicly
tell me.
and forced
what
to
has
get
BJP
off
done
that
for
career
cinema
of
halls?
fledgling, yet to start career. Such is the humiliation heaped on young children who launch a rock band, music band.
Majid
He
Haidri.
won't turn his gaze at that.
Majid Haidri.
He's a jihadi supporter on TV shows, prevaricates, lies, fabricates.
Majid Haidri.
But never look at the truth in
No
the eye.
film can play in Kashmir. You know, there are no cinema theatres in Kashmir. Even if they are all shut. है ना? तो सबसे पहले, I don't know how young people in Kashmir have seen the film and it has incited hate and they have gone and killed Rahul Pandit. How? I mean, logically also it doesn't make sense, na?
No. Madam, firstly, I don't go for any personal abuses or attacks. Correct. Sushil does. He's my brother. I won't go that way.
I appreciate that.
But the point is that he spoke about cinema halls. What has BJP done in its last 13 years of regime, much in Jammu and Kashmir, for the restoration of or reopening of even the cinema halls? The BJP is a typical failure. It has pushed Kashmiri Pandits to a point where they are getting killed helplessly and nobody is listening to them. They have been confined to their apartments and it's all the way condemnable. Instead of condemning government, Sushil Pandit is accusing me and this is his reality. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Nirmal Singh, the accusation is on the BJP. आपने किया क्या? आप लोगों ने तो कश्मीरी पंडितों को मारने के लिए कश्मीर में छोड़ दिया है और जब प्रोटेस्ट होती है राहुल पंडित की डेथ पे तो उन पे भी लाठियां बरसा दी जाती हैं, उन पे भी वाटर कैनन्स चला दिए जाते हैं. ये कहाँ का जस्टिस है? एक कम्युनिटी जिसने 32 इयर्स सफर किया है उसको आपकी सरकार के हाथों भी ये सब झेलना पड़ रहा है.
First of all, I will say that people like Mehbooba Mufti, Farooq Abdullah, and others like the so-called journalists who are speaking in this debate, they are not prepared or they are not ready to face the truth. Because once the truth is out, so they have become defensive. And that's why they have launched
once the truth
a
is
new
out,
type of jihad.
Nirmal Singh ji, once the truth is out, क्या truth?
You please,
पूछ रही हूँ सवाल.
नहीं, you please listen first. I'm referring to this the Kashmir Files. He was saying that it was 50%. It was half truth. I'll say it was 25% only. Only 25% of the atrocities, jihadi face has been exposed. I'll Tell him, if he is journalist, you remember what happened in Kulhan. I myself saw 18 dead bodies. They were being burned. Cherji, where there's the women, their private parts, they were ripped by these terrorists. Small children, their hearts were taken out, and that the thirst in the mouths of their parents. That was the reality. Only 25% has come out. This is fact. But whether they are pressurizing the government, they were meeting LG and telling that it should be banned. If they are not trying to suppress the truth, they must face it. And how many of them, people like these people, they came out on the streets when Rahul Bhatt was killed by this senseless terrorist.
Majid Hydari, what happened happened. You cannot deny it by calling it half-truth or fake. What happened happened. It's time to accept it. It's time to accept that wrong happened.
I'm telling you, only 25%.
Madam, I have no way said that the pain of Kashmiri
has come out. 25%
Madam, I
has
have
come
no
out.
way said
So
that
far as
the pain
the
of
lathi charging of the protesters are concerned, they're saying that was not acceptable. And that's why the government is active. They're taking action against those people who have done it.
Okay.
That was senseless.
Dr. Saab, I have no way said that the pain of Kashmiri Pandits is half-truth. I have said that the movie is half-truth. The pain of Kashmiri Pandits is as pure, as true as water of Gangotri. I have been saying it across the board. So let's not debate the pain of Kashmiri Pandits, nor need to commercialize.
So why,
See, the pain of Kashmiri Pandits has become an election commodity for you people. You tell me, what have you done for Kashmiri Pandits, barring that Bindruji got killed, barring that Deepak Chand teacher got killed, barring that Rahul Bhatt got killed, 15 Pandits have been killed in the last 13 months. Is that your achievement?
The victims, you always support the terrorists and the separatists. Through your
Dr. Saab, we are not discussing separatism. We are discussing the plight of Kashmiri Pandits who have confined to 4 walls for the last 5 days now. Why are they being treated like animals? This is my point. Why is Manoj Sinha government failing to give them respectful rights?
You are not with the Kashmiri Muslims, I'll say this.
Dr. Saab, why is your government failing in Jammu and Kashmir? Why are my Pandit brothers in pain and agony at the moment? Why is your government such a big failure that they are being mistreated as animals?
Anytime you and your friends, your colleagues, they came out and sat with the Kashmiri Pandits.
No job is worth a life. No homecoming is worth a life. You are using the lives of Kashmiri Pandits for your electoral process, for your electoral game.
You never did it.
No, there is the point of jihad. I am making my government accountable. What is my government doing for Kashmiri Pandits?
Like you, who are cowards, they don't have the guts to come out.
Okay, sir, I am a coward, but I am asking, what is my government doing for Kashmiri Pandits? Forget the plight of Muslims. What are you doing, or what have you done for Kashmiri Pandits, barring that Kashmiri Pandits are getting killed and then you are beating the voters? You are adding insult to their injuries. What is your government doing? What has your government done for Kashmiri Pandits?
370 has
Stop this dirty politics.
35 has been
dirty politics everywhere, governance nowhere. That has become the slogan of this different politics across the country.
Okay.
That security lapses.
Okay.
We know.
We leave it.
Black balls in the security apparatus.
We leave it
Why
there.
should there be a security lapse? Why should there be a security lapse?
Majid Hydari, Dr. Nirmal Singh.
They shall be.
I will give the last word, and Mr. Sushil Pandit, I have exactly 10 seconds, but I'll give you the last word. You've heard from politicians through the day today, 3 of them. You've heard from one politician of the BJP on this panel. You've heard from a Kashmiri Muslim, a journalist. I leave the last 10 seconds, the concluding part of this debate to you.
Thank you so much, Shreya. The person you introduced as Kashmiri journalist on 12th of this month in another show, another channel, said there is no evidence of what happened in 1990 to the claimed atrocities on Kashmiri Pandits. And today he says their pain is as pure as water of Gangotri. So that describes him, the persona and the credibility of his words. As far as politicians is concerned, earlier also, talking to you on the same channel, I had mentioned we have been abandoned across the board. We have no one to look up to hereafter. We have been disillusioned by this government as well. Today, from Prime Minister downwards, none has so far condemned the killing. None has so far acknowledged our genocide. None has so far come across and promised us justice for 32 years of crime trials and tribulations. None has offered us a penny of compensation for the lives and properties lost. So all hopes were pinned on this government, and we tend to get disappointed even here now. I only hope that something good will happen in future. We'll keep fighting. We are not going to give up. Thank you so much, Shreya, for having me on this show.
Thank you very much for being here. Nirmal Singh ji, thank you very much. And Bajid Haidari, thank you very much for being here as well. With that, I'm slipping into a quick break. The news of the day is up ahead. Do stay with us.